guys, welcome back. This is going to be part 11, the final part for Stargate. I want to get this joystick put together first, and then we're going to put it in the cabinet, and then we got to mount all the leaf switches to the bottom of the control panel, and then we can solder up all the wires, which I think the wiring harness is in the game itself. So yesterday I was just kind of screwing around with this a little bit, and I stuck the shaft in here. And we need to screw this together. This kit from Arcade Shop comes with all the parts you need to fully assemble a two-way joystick, which is nice. It didn't used to come like that. They used to only sell the metal parts of it, not the joystick and all the other parts. In fact, I could show you here. So what they used to sell was just these metal parts up here. So you got this part, and then you got a new one of these. And the reason why they would sell just these parts is this hole right here would wear out over time. And it would start flopping around real bad. And that would cause a bunch of play in your joystick. But now they make a whole kit with the leaf switches and everything, which is nice because you need these thick metal parts right here. These blades. Because what this does is it gives you spring back for your joystick. Oops. 1 second, dropping parts. It gives you your joystick, so it brings it back to center. If you don't have then you're kind of screwed. Plus, you know, if you don't have a joystick, like I didn't have one for this game, if I didn't have another one, if I would have had an old one, I could have took parts from that and those new metal brackets that I have, and I could have made a joystick. That's how I had to do it a long time ago with some of my other games that I did, which I'm trying to think what I did. I think I had done a couple Stargates a long time ago, and I actually had to source an original joystick, and then I had to buy metal parts because they were all floppy, because that pin area is worn out. I don't ever see that happening again because the game is not being played in a commercial setting anymore, so it should not have that problem anymore. This is my last Williams game that I have to restore. Don't really know of any other ones I would want. Maybe tracks, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Not saying that I won't restore another Williams game in the future, but if I were to, I would probably just restore it to sell, not to keep. Now you got to make sure that you put this insulator. This is like a cardboard insulator. It's got to go between your metal and your leaf switch itself, because that keeps it from, you know, this blade hitting that part. So that's pretty important to do that. And this is a little bit of a pain to put together. You have to put the blade, your insulator, then your leaf switch, then slide your bolts through it like that. And then you have to do the same thing in opposite order. You got to do your leaf switch first. Now I'm starting to second guess myself, but I think that's right. Yeah, the insulator goes, no, this is wrong. I'm backwards. That metal thing, now I forget. I'm going to have to look. Actually, I'm an idiot. There is a paper, I think I threw it away, that came with the joystick. I think I just told you guys completely backwards of what you're supposed to do. Comes with an assembly sticker right here. I was right, but I have it backwards. Yep, I was right. I just slid it in backwards. So I have to pop this out. flip it. So what I'm going to do is one at a time, like that. I knew I was right, I just put it in backwards. So what it is you have your metal plate, your insulator, then your leaf switch. And then duplicate that on the other side. Because you need your roll pin to push up against the insulator metal part, because the metal is longer than the leaf switch itself. So if you don't do it that way, your leaf switch is not going to work. So now I'm going to start with our metal piece, then our insulator, then our other leaf switch, then the two nuts. So if somebody's just taking one of these apart and forget how to put it back together, I'm sure the manual probably shows it. I don't know. Haven't looked at it. But I am going to have to get the manual out because I need to know the wiring diagram. What color wires go where, unless they're marked on that harness, which I don't think they are. Okay, so now that we have that together, so as you can see here, when this goes in, see how it springs it back to center? And that's because of these two metal blades. You know, it looks like it's going to touch just fine both directions, so that's awesome. Now when you put this thing together, I forget if the washer goes on the bottom or the top. Goes on the bottom. So you have to slide your joystick through. This is a pain in the ass part. You need a small pair of needle nose because you have to slide this washer on, and then you have to put your E-clip on to there. And last time I did it, I used some little needle nose like these right here. So hopefully I can do that, because you got to do it in the game unless you take the control panel off the game and do it on a bench like this. But I'm just doing it on the game because I wanted to get all the parts put together on the cabinet. So now we need to go out there and mount this onto the control panel, put all this on, and then we can start soldering the wires. And once the wires are soldered on, at that point, we can play the game. And then I just need to figure out why the switches in the coin door are not working. And also, I have some little screws here, real thin screws, and these are the perfect length to go through these. Dog hair. Go through these and then into the wooden control panel. And I'm probably just going to use a regular screwdriver to do it all. So what I'm going to do now is go out there, we're going to mount the joystick, and then after that, I'm going to put all these leaf switches on, which I'll just kind of fast forward while I'm screwing all these on, because it's going to take a few minutes. We got 2 screws per leaf switch. I believe there's 7 or 8 total. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So we got 16 screws we have to put in, plus 4 screws for the control, or for the joystick, which I got to grab a couple screws for that. So let's go out there and get this all put on, and then I'll get my cordless soldering gun, and we will get the wires soldered onto the buttons themselves. Okay, I think you can pretty much see what I'm doing from there. We got to make sure we put the dust washer in, because we've done that before. So slide that in. And also, I like to put the washer and the E-clip on before I mount the joystick into the cabinet. That usually makes it a little bit easier. At least I didn't pinch. Oh no, I dropped it. That sucks. Good luck finding that. Luckily I have more if I lose it. I have no idea where that went. Oh, there it is. Sweet. Thought that thing was gone forever. Not cooperating at all. Got it. Okay, now we can put the screws into it. So I'm going to go ahead now and get this screwed in, and then start working on screwing in all the leaf switches. Okay, so now I'm going to solder all these onto the connectors. Now I went and spliced everything, or stripped everything ahead of time, and then anything that had a orange with black stripe, I twisted the two together, because what that's doing is just jumping your common wire from one to the next. So I went ahead and twisted all those together, and then I obviously stripped the other wire itself. So on these Williams games, my plug is right here on the right side of the cabinet if you're looking at it. So that's where this harness starts at. So in theory, these first three are going to be my three buttons, are going to be my fire, thrust, smart bomb. So I need to look at my manual here so that I know what color wire does what on the control panel. Speaker, coin door, okay, right here, you got it right here. So I'm going to kind of stick this up here like I'm playing a piano, and get this to stay in there. And I know that my first button is fire, and that is orange and brown. The second one is thrust, which is orange and red. So I have my orange and brown, orange and red, and then my third one is orange and solid orange, maybe just solid orange, yep, which is smart bomb. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my ground wire, and I like to put my ground wire on the top one here, closest to me, and then I put the other wire on the second one down, the prong down. Now what I do is I stick the wire into the hole of the leaf switch, and then I bend it over, and then I just take some solder and I solder that wire to the terminal. So all you got to do And I could show it to you once it's finished. But that's what I'm going to be doing here for about the next 15 minutes probably. Is getting all these things soldered in. But first I'm going to sit here and put them all on and then just go right along there with my solder gun and get them knocked out. Okay, I think I got everything correct. They had a couple of the ground wire series wrong, so the wires weren't long enough to reach, so I had to cut some zip ties and spin a few things around. I don't know who made this harness originally. I bought it years ago. It was before Golden Age Arcade. I don't know who I got. I got it from somebody who had bought it from somebody else. That could be a wiring harness from RAM Controls for all I know. I mean, I have no idea. But let's turn the game on and see if these controls actually work. Forget which switch it is. Of course, it's the wrong switch I grabbed. Turn off a couple lights over here.
Hello, I'm turned on.
Okay. Uh-oh, the screen's messing up. Look at that. Maybe it'll straighten itself out. I'm gonna have to do a little adjustment there on the monitor, it looks like. It's interesting. Let's see if it at least starts. Oh no, you know what? It's not on free play because I can't get into the coin settings yet. I'll probably have to pull the cabinet out so I can adjust the monitor. I don't think it's going to stop rolling. See if the credit button works. I don't think any of them do. Okay, credit button works. Okay, so it did start. It's kind of hard to play when it's rolling like this. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust the monitor real quick. Seems like up and down's not working, but all right, let me pull the cabinet out and adjust that real quick. Okay, I got the controls, the monitor adjusted a little bit better anyways because I wasn't happy with where it was at. So now it's adjusted good. The sound is going out. So after the game's on for a minute or two, the sound goes out. wondering if it's this chip on the soundboard. This chip right here that is socketed, I'm going to have to pop that out, replace that, and see if it makes a difference. So I'm going to do that in a couple minutes. Okay, so what I did was, what would happen is I turned the game on. The sound would work for about 30 seconds or so, and then quit working. Common failure on these Williams games, I believe pinball too, on your soundboard here is your MPU. It's the IC9 location. It's the 6808, okay? So this is the one out of the soundboard for Stargate. I had a used one, so I swapped in the used one, and I think it's okay now. Arcade Shop used to sell these. I think Marco Specialty still sells them, but they're expensive. They're like 15 bucks a piece, and they charge $10 shipping. So I'm probably going to order a couple of them so I have them. I haven't thrown this one away yet because I don't know for sure that it's bad. I put it in a couple minutes ago. I played part of a game real quick, and then I stopped, let my guy die. I'm trying to let it set for a few minutes to make sure that it's still going to work when I go back to it. But after that, I need to get into the settings on the game so I can put it on free play. But the credit button's working, but the other one's not. I wonder if I somehow soldered the wrong wire or something like that on the coin door itself. So I'm going to have to check my wiring diagram there. I'll see if I can find it in the book here, and I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to kind of let that run for a few and then try it again. Okay, I fixed the switch on the coin door. I had the wrong green wire going to the last switch. So now we can get into the settings to change the settings to free play. I am still having a sound issue. So I swapped the soundboard for, let me spin this a little bit, for my soundboard out of my Robotron to see what it does. And we'll go over that afterwards. So first, let's get into the menu here, and we want to put it on free play. So go down to price selection. Oh, free play's down here. And then what button do I have to push? Press advance to exit. Use the up and down. Use the thrust and fire to change the values. Yes, so it's on free play now. We're going to leave everything else the way it is for now. It says hit advance to exit. Okay, so now we're on free play. Now I don't know if the sounds are different with this soundboard versus the other one. I didn't swap any chips or anything like that. So let's start a game and see. Okay, so the explosion sounds the same, everything sounds the same. I think it's the same sounds. Let's try the smart bomb. Okay, that's working. Inviso. Okay, that works. Hyperspace. Okay, that works. Reverse. Okay, so everything is working. So now I just need to see if the sound stays on with this, or if it's going to go off on me. They're stealing my guys, and I just shot them. I just shot my guys they took. Let me get back to there. Darn it. Darn it, hit the wrong button. But now I just need to see if this is going to stay working, the sound, or if it's going to quit again. Let's see if the 2-player button works. I believe so. Everything seems to be working control-wise, so that's good. Okay, I'm gonna let this run for a couple minutes and see if the sound stays or not. So something, I'm wondering if something on this is getting hot and shutting down. Or a cold solder joint perhaps. Just looking it over now to see if I see anything. Someone replaced this crystal at one point. I still hear the game going because I left it on 2-player. I would imagine this is like an amplifier right here. That could be an issue. I got to get this working because I stole my one that I'm going to be using for my Robotron cabinet so I can put all the original boards in there. So I need to get this up and running again, but I need to figure out what is causing it to quit playing sounds after a minute or two. Clearly something is getting hot, or like I said, there's a cold solder joint or something. Which I'm not seeing anything, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, could this chip be bad? This video sound ROM too? I don't know. No idea. It wasn't popped in all the way. On the other one that I just put in there, this chip is socketed as well. So could this chip be bad? I don't know what chip this is right here because it is kind of worn off on this one. Actually, it might say in the book here. Maybe. Maybe not. No, it's just going to give me locations on this part. I'd have to look it up. So that says, this one right here, it says video sound ROM. Could the video sound ROM be bad? I don't know. To me, it's acting like something's getting warm and then shutting down. But this doesn't need to be fixed today. As long as that one works, it's okay. It's not a big deal. We can always fix this one at a later date, do some research on it, and see what I come up with. And that's a good reason why I didn't throw away this other one of these chips that I took out, because I wasn't sure if that was the issue or not. Which turns out that was not the issue. We have solder touching these two pins here. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or not. I'd have to look at that other board to see if those are supposed to be solder. Oh yeah, they are. They're on the same area of the circuit board. Never mind. Not seeing anything out of the ordinary. I mean, somebody replaced the capacitors on this one. That one doesn't have new capacitors. There's old ones. Maybe if somebody knows what would cause the sound to drop out after 30 seconds to a minute, let me know. Something here that I'm missing. You know what I mean? Is it one of these little IC chips? I don't know. But let's go back out there now and start it and see if it still has sound or not. I'm hoping. But other than that, I think I'm done. If we have sound, I think I'm pretty much done with it. All right, let me start a game and see if we have sound. Still have sound. keep shooting my guys. So far so good with the sound. If for some reason it goes out on me, I'll let you guys know, and we'll do some more research on it. But like I said, when I go to do the Robotron, I'm gonna have to figure out why that is cutting out like that. I'm dead. I got killed. But all right, so that's pretty much gonna wrap this up, I believe. The monitor is a little bit out of skew here. We got a little bit of doing that type of thing, and I got to figure out what that is. I think somebody had mentioned what that was, but I'm gonna mess with that for a minute actually. See if I can't straighten that out a little bit. I'm gonna throw my coin box in the bottom there, and then I just have to do the door locks after. I gotta figure out that screen pinched in a little bit like that. Okay, so sound is still working on it, so clearly it's something on this board is a problem. All right, well, that's gonna end Stargate. It's pretty much done. A little bit of monitor adjustment, I gotta figure that out. Look through the comments because somebody did mention that to me and I forgot what they said. So I'm gonna look through those comments and see if I can figure that out. And then we'll have to figure this out at a later date. I'll do some research on it now to see if maybe I can possibly figure out what it is. And I just got to put door locks on it, really. That's about it. That's going to end the Stargate series. Eventually I'll do a playthrough video on it. Next in the shop, well, first I want to finish up the Kickman, but I'm still waiting on connectors. My package apparently is lost through the post office. It left Florida on the 26th, day after Christmas, and it is now the 5th, and it's still en route. It hasn't even made it to Cleveland yet. So I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's lost, if it's coming back, or what. But can't finish that harness until I get that. I need to build a harness. I need to duplicate this harness for what game is this? What game is this? Can't remember what's going on anymore. Phoenix. I borrowed this Phoenix harness, so I got to just duplicate this real quick so I can send it back. Not much to it. Just got to get an edge connector on. It shouldn't take me long to do. I'm probably just going to do this one off camera. This is actually for a cocktail table, so I need to kind of make all my wires longer so that they will fit an upright cabinet. So I need to get this done. I was supposed to do it this weekend. It just kind of ran out of time. So beginning of the week, I'm going to get this knocked out. Next on the list as far as in the shop, I'm going to be restoring 2 Tato cabinets. One that I'm supposed to be trading, and one that I'm going to be turning into, actually I should probably do all 3. But we'll see if I do 3 or not. I'm not sure. I might do the 3rd one at a later date. So one I'm going to be supposedly trading. The other one I'm turning it into a Quicks. Okay, so one's going to be a Quicks and one's going to get traded. The 3rd Tato cabinet out there is going to be my Alpine Ski, which I pretty much have almost everything for the Alpine Ski. Now the Alpine Ski cabinet that's out there, I believe was an Alpine Ski. It did have some blue paint on it, blue and black, so I think it is. But I think it was like a darker blue, not a powder blue, so I'm not sure. Maybe it was something different, but anyways. The other one was the Jungle King cabinet that I took apart. I'm actually going to turn that into a Quicks. That's the one I disassembled into a million pieces, the cabinet itself, because it was so messed up that I'm gonna have to do so much work to it and stuff like that. I'm just gonna turn it into a Quicks, something I want. I don't want Jungle King or Jungle Hunt because I have those games on my Elevator Action, because when I bought the high score save kit, it came with those other games. By pushing player 1 and player 2 down, you can get into the menu and get to those other games. So there's really no point in me having Jungle Hunt cabinet, in my opinion. So I'm going to turn it into a Quicks. It can always be converted back, I'm sure, if somebody really wanted to. So that's next on the projects out there. I'm going to do 2 of the cabinets for now, and then I'm going to be doing Tempest after that. I have a Tempest out there. I bought it for 50 bucks, the cabinet, sourced all the parts. Believe it or not, I could not find a color vector monitor anywhere around here that anybody wanted to part with for under $1,000. Believe it or not, I found a color vector monitor of all places in California. Just so happens that my buddy's big into neon signs, and he does a bunch of neon signs, and he has a guy out in California that when he buys neon signs out there, he brings them to Ohio. It literally turned out that I found a monitor within a half an hour from where this guy lived that does all these transports for him for the neon signs. And I think I paid $400 for the monitor. I gave him like $100. He went and picked up the monitor, strapped it in on his front seat with a seatbelt, and brought it to Ohio like 2 weeks later because he was bringing a load of signs for my buddy. So that worked out really well. And then one of my other buddies actually rebuilt the monitor for me because I always trade work with people and stuff. So he had done some, or I had done some work for him on something. I don't remember. Maybe I think I fixed a cabinet or something. So he's like, hey, since you've done that, I've done a bunch of these monitors, just give it to me. So he went through the whole thing. Knock on wood, it is working. Hopefully it stays working. He tried to bulletproof it as best as possible. So hopefully that'll last. But I had that monitor all rebuilt, cleaned, ready to go into the cabinet. But when I bought the cabinet, it was missing a ton of parts. I was missing like a bracket for the marquee and stuff like that. And once again, I just so happened to be buying parts for, I bought a Gorf and some parts, other parts off this guy on the west side of Cleveland. And I was at his house. He's like, you looking for any other parts? I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for a lower piece of metal for the marquee bracket for a Tempest. And he's like, I might have one. So he had this shelf literally with like 50 brackets on there, and we just start looking through them, and no shit, we pull one out. Here's one. And I got the bracket. So I have all the parts for Tempest except for the artwork. I've not bought the artwork yet, but I want to get that cabinet in the shop and fixed because it actually got wet in my back building because I don't have concrete back there, and I had it in the back room. And we got really, really bad rain for like 2-3 days, and a little bit of water came in under the wall. And being a particle board cabinet, you know how that works. I had it on a tarp, but unfortunately the water got high and it went on top of the tarp, which as soon as that particle board got to water, it just absorbed it. So I don't know how bad it is, but we will fix it. No matter what it is, we will fix the cabinet itself. So I want to get that Tempest back in order. I have a control panel and all that stuff. I just need the artwork for it. So we're going to be doing the 2 Tato cabinets, and then right after that we're going to be getting into the Tempest. And then I'm thinking maybe we'll do a carnival after that. I actually have 2 carnivals. I had to buy both cabinets at the same time. Guy was selling them as a pair only. I think I paid $150 or $200 for the pair of cabinets. It came with 2 boards. Both boards were broken. Neither one worked. Sent them to a guy who normally doesn't mess with them anymore. He did it for me as a favor. I think he charged me like $200, maybe $300. He had both of them working. So I have 2 working carnival boards, and I hate to part with one of them, you know what I mean? Because if it breaks, nobody wants to mess with those boards. So I'm thinking about just keeping the second one, maybe just putting it in the cabinet and leaving it in case I need it in the future. But so maybe I'll do that one after I get done with the other ones. So there's I don't know if somebody painted it black or if it's wood grain still, I forget, for one of the carnival cabinets, and the other one's white. And I think I want to do the white cabinet one. I think that one maybe is in better shape. And then there's tons more projects after that. But these are just some of the next few that I want to get to. Obviously, I want to finish up Kickman. So basically, I'm going to be working on Kickman while working on a couple Tato cabinets out in the shop. So if you guys are interested in seeing those, make sure you guys come back to watch them. If you guys haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything. Just lets you know when new videos are coming out. And also, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up, that really supposedly helps with the algorithm through YouTube as far as more people reaching the video to more people so more people can see it. If you know anybody that's interested in this kind of stuff, you know, if you wouldn't mind sharing my videos, I'd really appreciate it. Any questions or comments, like usual, feel free to ask. I always respond to everybody. And other than that, I'll see you guys later. Not quite sure what I'm going to be doing next. Maybe I'll make a quick video on the Phoenix harness. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.